Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Friday, May 11th, and welcome to our video commentary. I wanted to put in a little greeting here for all of our friends up in Minnesota. It was on this day, May 11th, 1858, that Minnesota became a part of the Union. They were the 32nd state to join the Union. So we recall and remember all of our friends up in beautiful Minnesota. You know, they had some primaries this week, and I thought we would take a little look at that. They had primaries in West Virginia, Indiana, and Ohio. Now, let's look at West Virginia. The big contest there was on the Republican side, and the idea was that one of these three who were running would be facing Democrat Joe Manchin in the fall. Joe Manchin is a longtime Democrat in that state, very popular Democrat in that state, a conservative Democrat. That's what they call him. And he will be facing a fellow by the name of Mr. Morrissey in the fall. And that should be a very good contest. I think in West Virginia, as well as in Indiana, where they also had a primary to name the Republican nominee. I think in both cases, in West Virginia and in Indiana, the Republicans nominated two very strong candidates who actually have a very good chance of flipping that state from blue to red or from Democrat to Republican. I still think the biggest challenge for the Republicans is going to be West Virginia, even though the state has been trending heavily Republican for a long time. Joe Manchin has very deep roots in that state. And a lot of people in that state don't even see him as a Democrat. They see him more as a conservative. Frankly, I've never understood why Mr. Manchin continues to be a Democrat. I wish he had declared himself an independent, and that would have given him the freedom, I think, to operate a lot better, more in the interest of West Virginia. But the bottom line is that the Republicans have a very good chance, very strong candidates, to win that Senate seat in November in Indiana, as well as West Virginia. Now, perhaps the most interesting election of the night happened in Ohio, not because of the candidates so much, but because of the turnout. You had in Ohio two very competitive primaries on the Democrat side and on the Republican side. For governor, two extremely competitive campaigns with lots of money being spent, lots of publicity. So many people were thinking of Ohio as another indication of where the voters are going in November. And as it turned out, there were 200,000 more voters on the Republican primary than on the Democratic side. And that's beginning to make a lot of people wonder about this so-called blue wave that we've been hearing about for quite some time. You know, back in December, back in November, the consensus was that there was going to be a huge Democrat wave, probably winning the Senate and perhaps saving some of these red state Democrats. It doesn't seem to appear that way right now. We're not making any final conclusions because the election is still 5 months away, or 6 months away, actually. But I do think it's interesting, particularly in Ohio. Ohio would have been a perfect test case for this blue wave, and it turned out to be not much of a wave at all. As I said, 200,000 more Republicans voted in Ohio than Democrats, in a state, by the way, that has been fairly even over the last few elections. I mean, this is a state that President Bush won in 2000 and 2004, then President Obama did in 2008, 2012, but it's always been a very competitive state, you know, the kind of state where we have to wait a while to name who the winner is. And then, of course, in 2016, the state went for President Trump. So it's always been a very competitive state. It goes back and forth, and the margin of victory is never really that big. But nevertheless, this year in particular, we didn't see a huge turnout on the part of the Democrats to support any idea that there's going to be a Democrat wave. Again, it's too early to get too excited about all of this, but at least in Ohio, we didn't see the kind of blue wave that I think a lot of people were expecting. I mean, when 200,000 more Republicans vote in a state that is fairly divided, what they like to call a purple state, then maybe we have to wonder about all these forecasts of a blue wave. Have a great day, everybody. We have all of these videos over on YouTube. We have them on my blog, and we have them on Twitter. Have a great day, everybody. And again, hello to Minnesota. 1858 was your day. Hello, bye-bye, everybody. Have a great day.